Hebrew is Afro-Asiatic, not Indo-European. Let me say that again. The Hebrew language is Afro-Asiatic, not Indo-European. Now, what is the meaning of Afro-Asiatic? We will find that out today. We will know the meaning of the word Afro-Asiatic. Now, without even going further, when you hear Afro, you know that it has to do with some people, right? So it has to do with some people from one continent, right? So we'll get into that. But there's this thing that people always say, like people use it a lot. When you talk, they said hidden in the plain sight, right? Hidden in the plain sight. Now, some of you who study linguistic, because recently I just had a discussion with a linguistic student, with a final year linguistic student in the university, right? And we were talking, and when I was like just telling the person just some things, and he was like, "You sound like my lecturer." I say, "Whoa." No, but I know more than your lecturer, though. So go back to hidden in the plain sight, right? Some of you will you will see that the Hebrew language belongs to language family called Afro-Asiatic, right? And some of you bab hairstyle called Afro, right? And some of you do anything that has to do with Afro, listen to Afro beats, Afro music, Afro culture, right? But you forget the Afro-Asiatic. You know what I'm saying? You understand that Afro belongs to the African people, right? Afro has something to do with people of Africa. We'll go deep into that, right? We will know the meaning of Afro, and we know the meaning of Afro-Asiatic. You know what I'm saying? So, what's the meaning of hidden in the plain sight? Let's even start with that, because, like I said, we are here to speak the truth, nothing but the truth. We are here to speak the truth and expose the falsehood. We are here to bring people out of darkness, to remove unclean lips and unclean language from the tongue, from the mouth of the people. We are here to make the people to know the truth, so that they can have that spiritual knowledge to connect with the Heavenly Father. That is our purpose, and that is the mission. And like I said, it is Yahuah's will that we are here to do it. He is the one that sent us to do it. You know what I'm saying? It is Yahuah that put it in our heart to start teaching people the truth, not lies. You know what I'm saying? So let's start with the meaning of hidden in the plain sight. Then you know where I'm going with this. Hidden in the plain sight means something is right there in front of you, obvious or visible, but you do not notice. It is usually because you are not expecting it, right? You are distracted or overthinking. Did you hear that? Like this thing, something is right there in front of you. The evidence is there. You know, one thing I've come to notice, all these wicked occultic people that are running this world. You know what I've come to notice about them? That there's nothing that they are doing that they are not putting it out there. Either they put it in the movie, they put it in the book, they put it in the Cartoon Network, they put it everywhere. They put it in the music, right? Even in the culture, in drawing, in every. You get what I'm saying? They put the information there in the plain sight, but at the same time you are so distracted to see it. They put it there, right? So and they will create all form of distraction for you not to see it. So like I said, Hebrew is Afro-Asiatic, not Indo-European. So let's check. So what's the meaning of Afro? Let's start there first, right? Because Afro-Asiatic is made of two words. You know what I'm saying? Afro-Asiatic is two words, right? So now let's know the meaning of Afro, and we know the meaning of Asiatic, and we know the meaning of Indo-European, and we know the meaning of Indo and European, and we will expose the falsehood. There is nothing, when Yahuah said, there is nothing that's been done in hidden place that will not be exposed. Now it's time to expose all kinds of wickedness and unrighteousness, right? It's time to expose the lies. It's time to tell the truth and expose the lies, right? So that is what we are here for. What is the meaning of Afro? Let me use, like I said, the reason why I always go this deep or this spend so much time, so that you can know that I'm not just talking, right? So that it is information that you can get it anywhere. You know what I'm saying? So that's why most of the times I use the dictionary definition. You know what I'm saying? I use the resource, like something that you can just do your own research to find out the information, right? So now, what is the meaning of Afro? Let me use it according to how I see it based on my research, the results that I get from the research, right? What is the meaning of Afro? Let's start there first. Now, this is etymology meaning of Afro. The word etymology, etymon, means like origins of words. You know what I'm saying? What has origins? Like you trace what back to the culture that we're using that word, where that word originated from. You know what I'm saying? Like I said in the previous videos, right, that all English words are traced back to Latin or Greek. You know what I'm saying? So all English words are traced back to Greek or Latin. You know what I'm saying? Because English because Greek and Latin, English is just modern version of Greek and Latin, right? So all English words are traced back to Latin. Now, what is the etymology meaning of the word Afro? I'm giving you dictionary definition that you can go and find out yourself. You can do your own research, right? This is for education purpose. We are here to learn. Within school. You know what I'm saying? Forget that one. Forget the degree. This is the real school, right? Etymology of Afro. The word Afro comes from African. Okay. Word origin: Latin, Africa, the name of the continent. Afro become a prefix meaning relating to African or African heritage. Did you hear that? So anything Afro is related to Africa or African heritage, right? So whenever you hear Afro, anything Afro, it has to do with Africa, African or African heritage. Example like Afro beats. We are going there. How the word developed, right? When the word how the word developed, when the word become like popular, right? In the 90s, especially during the 1960s to 1970s, black culture and civil rights movements, Afro become widely used to describe a natural African texture hairstyle, right? You people know what Afro hairstyle is. Okay, this is Afro hairstyle. You can see the hairstyle there. That's Afro hairstyle, right? It means to describe a natural Afro texture hairstyle. That is not natural African hair, right? Like this one here. B, culture, identity connected to African roots. Example: Afrobeat, Afrocentric, and Afro-Caribbean. Now let's even leave Afrocentric and Afro-Caribbean. You know what Afro-Caribbean means, man? It means the people in the Caribbean or the culture in the Caribbean that has its origin from Africa, right? So let's even leave that one. Let's focus the one that is very popular, Afrobeat, right? Like Afrobeat is #1 sound that is very popular in the whole world now. You know what I'm saying? So now, who is the father of Afrobeat? There is no way you can want to trace Afrobeat back without mentioning Fela Anikbola Kuti, right? You know him as the father of Afrobeat, like the person that started Afrobeat, right? So he's the person that started Afrobeat, which is from Africa, right? and he was number one. He was one of the people that fight, like really speak against European colonization, imperialism, imposing their culture and language and belief system on people, right? He was one of those people, right? And I get what I'm saying. Like, I'm not here to talk about Fela or anything. What I'm saying is that you can see that anything that has to do with Afro will always come back to Africa or African origin. So we know Fela Anikbola Kuti as the father of Afrobeat. That's how they considered him to be father of Afrobeat, right? Or originator of Afrobeat, right? So now Fela was the person that invented Afrobeat. So now you know Afrobeat, you know that is African sound. That the reason I call it Afrobeat because it has its origin from Africa. The person that started that sound, that invented that sound, was an African, and from Nigeria to be specific, right? So now you get it. You know what it means to be Afro. So anything that has to do with Afro, that means it's from Africa. It has African origin and heritage, right? So now, literal meaning of the word Afro. Afro relating to African or people of African origin. Did you hear that? Let me say that again. Afro, the meaning of the word Afro is related to Africa or people of African origin. So now we know the meaning of Afro, right? So it means it meant Asiatic, right? So let's check the meaning of Asiatic based on their dictionary. I'm just using information that you can find it anywhere, right? So like I said, English words are always originated from Greek or Latin, right? So this is the meaning of Asiatic, right? In Latin, right? Asiaticus, from which Asiatic comes from, function as both adjectives of pertaining to Asia, right? Right? E.g., province, Asiatic, Asiatic province, right? Now, a person from Asia or an Asiatic, right? Now, what is the meaning of the word Asia? Let's know the meaning of the word Asia. You know what I'm saying? So that for proper clarification, right? Asiatic is the same as the word Asia, which means ancient lands, right? The Asiatic means like ancient, like Asiatic comes from the word Asia. So the word which means ancient lands, right? Origin of mankind, heat or sunrise. So that's the meaning of the word Asia. Whenever you hear the word Asia, it has to do with ancient place or ancient lands or ancient people, right? So now you can see the dictionary I got it from. You see, what is the name of the dictionary? Harper Douglas Online Etymology Dictionary 2023. You can, like something that can go and verify it. Go and check it, right? That's the purpose. That's the reason why I put the link there. You know what I'm saying? For you to go and verify it. I'm not the one that put it there, right? It's what I read online. It's what I studied, right? Now, so this is how we got the word Asiatic, right? So in English, Asiatic inherited both meaning something related to Asia or a person from Asia, right? So now we know that Asia, the word Asiatic comes from the word Asia, which means ancient land or east or origin of mankind. So joining it together, Afro-Asiatic. What does it mean to be Afro-Asiatic? We know that Afro is from Africa and Asiatic means ancient land. You know what I'm saying? So without not stressing ourselves too much, you can see that Afro-Asiatic means ancient African people. So the Hebrew is the language of ancient African people. Now, mind you, if you notice that in the meaning of in the meaning of Asia has to do with the East. Now, ask yourself, why did they change that region to Middle East? Why is it Middle East? Ask yourself. Why is that region called Middle East? Who named it Middle East? You can do your research. Like, as a matter of fact, that should be homework for you. Go and check where they started naming that place Middle East. You will see that it's not even up to 150 years or 200 years. Just go and check. Why did they name that place Middle East? Because that is the East. That is the origin of everything, origin of mankind. That is where everything begins, right? So Afro-Asiatic means ancient African people. Now you can type Afro-Asiatic people. Just do it. Just type Afro-Asiatic people and click image. Before, like when I just came into the truth 5-6 years ago, if you type it, they will bring the real people out. But now when you type it, there's high possibility that they will not give you the results you need. I mean, if you use Google, but if you use any other search engine, they might give you the proper people. They show you the image of proper people and what they look like. So now you understand that the reason why you have been reading the scriptures wrong is because you have been robbed of your heritage, right? You have been robbed of your identity. So that book was written for you. That book was written. That holy scripture, that set apart book, the set apart scriptures was written by your ancestors, and it was for you. Now, some of you will ask, so if that is the case, how did it end up in the Europeans? So, and why were they the one that brought it to us?